What's up, everybody on YouTube? How's everybody doing? I'm doing just fine, doing awesome actually. So today, welcome to another castle let's build on the Minecraft building series. This is where we are going to build a castle, and I'm going to go into depth of how to teach you it. Also, while just relaxing and just building, and just enjoying building a castle, I guess. So remember, you don't have to build the same one as me. Just you can take some tips from these let's builds. It's not really supposed to be a tutorial, but I'll give you some hints and tips along the way. So as you can see here, I've done some progress. I've made, in between episodes, a layout. Now this can be sometimes tricky, especially on camera, so that's why I wanted to do it in between episodes, just to get a nice layout going. Now you probably don't know what this all means in just a second, but I'm going to explain it, and then it'll make much more sense. It'll make much more sense once I tell you what all this stuff means. So, but before we move on, you guys voted on the cave idea, which I'm very surprised about. You guys said that, a cave, you guys would like to see a cave. So yes, we will do a cave. I was expecting to see a drawbridge, but I guess we'll go with some uniqueness here. I did say that in that episode that we should do something unique, and that would be pretty unique. So hopefully you guys were going off with that tip. So we're not going to do that today, but that will be saved for another episode, for when we start working on the moat. That'll be its own episode. So today I want to focus on form and design. So today we're actually going to get into building the castle. So let's focus on this layout here. Let me show you guys what this form is, or what this layout is. Either one works, but either word works fine. So I'm gonna just show you what all this green means, or no, what all this all those colors mean. Green is an entrance, so wherever I put green is where my entrance is gonna go. So as you can see here, I have one entrance to the castle. I can add more if I wanted to, and I'll probably do that. But this is the main entrance, and that's where I put my green. As for the purple, it is the outer walls. So anything that's purple is going to be an outer wall. So this is going to be an outer wall. This will be an outer wall. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, and the orange will be obviously the inner castle. So that anything that is marked orange or orange surrounds, that'll be the inner castle. So basically this box here that's dug down will be the inner castle, which basically means that this is like where the king and the throne room would be for the castle. And last but not least is light blue, which is, well, I guess you could probably guess, which is the towers. So we have a big tower here just to kind of offset the castle to this side, and then we have a bunch of little small towers on this side just to kind of level it all out. Now this is not going to be a square castle, even though it does look like it's going to be a square. The walls will be square, but the towers, I don't think I want to make them too square. You can if you want to, if that's what you like, but I don't usually square it up like that. So the idea for this castle is we're going to have like a little basement entrance here. So it'll go into this little basement. You have to walk up a flight of stairs, and then you're in this little throne room area. You have this big tower here. The castle is going to be, since it's kind of small, on the smaller side of castles, it's going to have more of a height to it. So probably like up to here it'll be up. Probably a little bit more. The big tower is definitely going to go pretty far up. From that point, so that's pretty good. So yeah, that's basically the layout of the castle. It's pretty simple, it's not too hard to follow, but if you do want to copy it, there it is, pretty much. Just pause the video and you can copy it. Yeah, so, and I'll just fly down here if you want to just check it out. So, but yeah, it's pretty simple, it's not that hard, and I think it's easy to follow as a first castle. If you're building your first castle, or if you're just learning how to build castles, you want to get into it, this would definitely be a good layout for one. Alright, so I removed the colored wool here because I actually don't know what I want to use as the colors of this castle. So definitely not these colors. These are just layouts. So the next thing we're going to do is look at design, and I actually have to cut to go to another world. So I'm going to do that right now, and we're going to go look at some designs for the castle. Now, these aren't going to be the actual designs. These are just going to be ideas for your guys' castle. I'm going to do something totally different once we start building. Alright, so welcome to this little building world I have where I just practice buildings and stuff. You may remember that house from a certain tutorial and that house from a certain time lapse. And yeah, just this is where I do my ideas and stuff and just kind of work out what, what looks good and what, makes for a good build before I put it actually into a build. So I don't have to mess up on the build that I'm building. So these structures here are for the Let's Build that we're doing, and so I especially did this for them, so I could have a good idea of what I wanted to do. Obviously, these colors here are not going to be the mandatory colors for our castle, nor is this going to be the design for our castle. So yeah, I mean, there's many different things that we could do still, and this is just to get an idea for your guys' castle. So here's a simple wall design. It's pretty simple. This is pretty basic and just, obviously you can shorten it to be whatever length you want it to be. It's got that, nice little guard view here. The battlements are, pretty protective in that regard, being realistic. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. If, you want to use that, go right ahead. It's pretty simple. Just the only really complicated thing would be, well, really nothing. It's this is pretty simple. So if you wanted to use this, I guess the complicated thing would be shortening it down to the length of that of each wall. We actually might use this design for our walls on the castle. So over here we have a little weird tower design. Now this is strange because you don't usually see roofs like this. This is what I call a breakup in the wall. These towers are mainly used for they're kind of like those battlement towers where they have the battlements and then the crenellations and all that. These are an alternative to that. This is basically kind of goes along with the wall, and it's a little smaller compared to this tower here, which would be for like a gate of some sort. So this tower is definitely for that defensive purpose. Looks pretty nice too, I have to say. I mean, this is like the first time I've tried a design like that, and it actually doesn't look that bad. So, and as I said, with this big tower here, this would be the entryway into the castle. This would be something that you would want to walk up to and be like, whoa, this is so cool, because of how tall it is and how grand and how elegant in the shape it is. So that's kind of what you are looking for when you want to do an entrance. Alright, so then right here we have a nice little tower. Now you might be wondering, like, what is this? This is so tiny. Well, this is basically a little statue of what I would call a statue. It's not really a tower. It's more of a statue. And it's more for that defensive archery. This is great for that archery because it's flat and it's easy to shoot off of. It's more for a defensive purpose. And you can fit these in between little walls and everything. And it just has like a nice little ladder. It's not as big or detailed as the big towers, but these make for a great little defensive towers, and you can climb up them. You can go down for protection. Yeah, these are really good. We actually might use these on our towers or on on our castle because of how effective these are in a defensive purpose. So you might want to consider using these in your tower, even though these are like little small structures. And as a bonus, I wanted to show you this. It is a catapult. Yeah, so catapults are kind of important for defensive purpose in our like nice little what you would call it, our castle, because it just makes for a nice little effect, since we can't actually use them, it just makes it feel more realistic, like this is a defensive castle, and with catapults aligned, you know, it's going to make it look really nice. This catapult I'm very proud of because it actually has that bending shape to it. Like, it's like the stick in between is ready to break, and once you cut that rope right there, it's gone, you know. So yeah, pretty cool. Here's some flag designs if you would like to use them. This flag design is, you know, I've just made up, but this flag design is actually for one of my cities that I have in one of my roleplay worlds, so it's pretty cool. Okay, so welcome back to the castle, let's build a castle world. So that was just kind of give you an idea of what you could build as for your towers. Now we're going to start forming. As I said, that we are going to be doing forming in this video, so it's actually very simple. It's just to get an idea of height. So we have our width of the castle, and we also have our length. So our width and our length, and now we need our height. So forming is basically what everything's gonna be. It's just gonna lay out our castle. So what I'm gonna do here is for our towers, I'm going to not really build yet. I'm just going to bring up these blocks in the corners of each of those pieces of wool that I just did. And then I'm going to connect them once I get to the top here. Oh. There we go. Okay, and as you can see there's kind of a shape of how tall I want that tower to be, and that actually looks okay. Considering that this castle's on a hill, that is going to be just fine. So I'm going to raise this one up to be the same height. There we go. And I will cut out those corners, don't you worry. And these aren't going to be the shape, this is not going to be the shape of the towers yet. This is just to give me an idea, as I said, of height, and just to, you know, make sure that, you know, I'm doing this to scale with everything. If something looks off in height, then it's probably not going to look good as a complete structure. So this is something to think about. All right, so there we go. Now we got those kind of, you know, square towers, and as I said, it's not the finished product. But those are just an example of how high it's going to be. And we'll do the same for each of these. Alright, so as you can see here, this is looking pretty nice, right? Well, actually, these towers are all the same height. It doesn't look too great. So I'm actually going to raise this one up a little bit more. Maybe just a little bit, not too much, to where it's drastically different. Like the big tower, we're going to have pretty high up in the air, probably above the inner castle. So that would actually be really looking pretty cool. So there we go. So it kind of evens this side out from what this will be. So we're going to bring this big tower pretty high up, as I said. That looks actually pretty good. We don't want to go too far. It'll look weird. So right now it kind of looks like stone brick skyscrapers going up in the air. And that's okay. You know, we're not quite there yet with the whole building part and all that. There's still many more steps we need to take before we actually start like detailing. So, and trust me, you know, learning these steps to building is very important, because then you can just do it every time, you know. Alright, so let's see here. Connect these up and then we should be good to go. Sorry for my clicking, I have trouble holding the mouse button and I can't really do it. I'm not cool like that. Alright, let's step back and take a look at the heights. Yeah, okay. So obviously, right now, it does look weird. Okay, I understand. But that is only because these are massive skyscrapers of stone brick going into the sky. Okay, it doesn't look pretty yet. So trust me, this is still in the works. And this will look like a tower going up eventually. Like, that's the tippy top. That's where the flag is going to be. Okay, just think about that. All right. Alright, you got that in mind? Because, you know, this is where that flag's... not where the flag's gonna be. Where the roof's gonna start here, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Roof will start here. Okay? Roof. Okay? Alright, and we don't really need to do the outer walls, because I'll show you why once we actually start building. /weather. There we go. And so we want to get a good idea where our walls are going to go all around the castle. That looks pretty good. Alright. Guess we'll continue doing... No. Wait, this is the inner castle, right? So the inner castle is going to go way higher than... Trying to think where the inner castle is going to go. I know the inner castle will go here. It's going to be way higher than that. Yeah. Entrance will be there. Like that. So that will be going into there like that. And then that's pretty much it for forming. Alright, and that's pretty much it. Now what we could do for this is bring this around like so. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the outer walls. You don't really need to do anything special for them. Yeah, you just kind of build on top of like that. And there you go. That is the form of the castle. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Not too bad. Not too shabby. So there you go. That is what we're looking at right now. I know it's a slow process, but trust me, in the end, this is how you're going to get an excellent castle. There's no really other way of doing it. In such a excellent way. You gotta like really know what you're doing to do it in a different way. Like I'm so used to, you know, just knowing where everything goes that I don't really need to do the layout anymore. I don't really need to do the forming anymore. I just kind of have an eye for it now. And the more you lay it out, the more you form it, the more you're gonna see and imagine how high and where everything's going to go, where your big tower is going to go, where your, you know, the stronghold is going to go, which is basically another name for the inner castle, the throne room, you know. Trust me, it gets easier, but this is the, you know, just the beginning steps, and we're getting close. We're getting very close, not to being complete, but to actually having a basic castle, and that's pretty good. So as always, don't forget to be awesome. Leave a like on the video. Let's try to get 5 likes on this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.